So I know y'all saw the viral videos that's been going on with David Cooley. Like this video.
The truth. There's no soft way to speak the truth.
Yeah.
There's no hard way to speak the truth.
It's, you know,
in this video.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
hold on, before we go.
See, I don't know about you, but I always felt that tonight's conversation, they were a bit sketchy. And I say that because I believe a lot of them are straight leftists. I'm talking about the types that probably voted for Kamala. And here's the thing. I agree 1,000% with David Cooley. Shout out to Cooley. But here's the thing, and here's why I agree with him. People today are soft. They don't want to hear the truth, and I get it, that's the reality. They don't want to hear the truth, but at the end of the day, somebody got to tell you it. Whether you want to hear it, whether it's hard to hear or not. Somebody has to tell you the truth, and somebody has to be authentically true and real about the conversation. And that's one of the things that David Cooley does. And that's one of the reasons why I agree with them 1,000% on tonight's conversation, on both of those conversations. See, the problem is, in those conversations, I'll start with the top tier man situation. They cut out exactly what David Cooley said. See, when he started to, the little viral clip where he said, well, do you think you're a top tier man? Where he was like, well, let me set the preface by saying, well, I'm not talking about myself because I'm in a relationship, but I'm talking about in general. And so he set the preface by saying that. Then he went on to say, well, considering the fact that I am 6'4", that I do make over six figures, and on top of that, I'm a black man, yes, I do consider myself in the top tier. But, however, that's just on the surface level of things. So when he said that, she instantly went into the value aspect of things, talking about different values. Because guaranteed, we all can agree with this. What she said in that video, based on all values, I guarantee you, if that guy was a 5'4" dude and he made 30K a year, I guarantee she wouldn't even look his way. And so that in itself is so disingenuous when she went to that aspect, because that's typically what a lot of women do in the first place. So then we dive into the next conversation, in which what she was saying, I mean, not her, but there's another clip that was clipped up from the tonight's conversation with David Cooley on it as well. And again, now you had a whole bunch of male feminists on there too. And you know one thing for sure is that you can tell a feminine man, or you can tell a man that was raised by his mother and only his mother, a single parent, right? The reason you can see that is because they are so in tune with their emotions. Everything affects them. They are hell-bent on therapy. They're hell-bent on the aspect of, I should be able to express my emotions. They probably still believe in this thing that's called toxic masculinity, which I firmly don't believe in that. I just think it's just being masculine as a man, being stern and standing 10 toes down on what you believe. And just being stoic overall. But I know there's more that comes with it, but you have to understand just those basics right there are what are considered of a man, but there's more to it. So for those of you who want to try to dive deep into it, you can do that on your own time. But to get to the point, we all go through trauma. We all have had our moments in life where things have not gone, or we don't see things in such a way that we should. And my honest to God truth and my honest to God aspect and perception on that is, get over yourself. Grow the fuck up. Apparently, if you're still being, if you bring out the fact there was some trauma in your life. Now, this is not to discredit anybody. This is not to say, well, your emotions are valid or anything. But what it's saying is this: apparently, you haven't healed from whatever it is, and therapy may not be working for you. So you need to find a new way to be able to get over this situation that has happened to you. 2, you can just get over it. Grow up, understand that it happened a long time ago, and move on with your life. Because if you're still boo-hooing and crying about a situation that happened to you when you were a child, I'm sorry. It sucks that it happened to you, but at some point you have to get over it. At some point you have to grow up and be a man. At some point you have to just say, you know what, this shit happened. I can't do nothing about it. It was the past. I accept it. It is what it is. I'm moving forward. I'm putting this behind me now. So now you can be able to have an actual conversation without boo-hooing and crying on stage, on live TV. That's crazy to me. And not only that, I need y'all to understand too. There was another part of that show where they mentioned, where David Cooley was talking about, you know, how women out here are S8, right? Now let me set the precedent by saying, look, I understand that it happens out here. I do. I know that it happens. But at the rate at which a lot of people talk about it, they act as if it's a really prominent thing. They act as if 9 out of 10 women it happens to on a daily. And that's not the case. Because a lot of people, in order to try to prove a point, a lot of people try to use extreme situations to try to prove a point or to try to support the argument. So when we talk, and when I talk about different things, I talk in generalities. I don't talk based off of specific situations or extreme situations. I talk in generalities. And so this is one of the reasons why I agree with Cooley. And also, I want to set the precedent by saying this. You can't believe everything that's clipped up on TikTok because they are not honest to truth. They left out the context. That's why I never trusted tonight's conversation. I never trusted their podcast because it's a lot of feminist women over there and a lot of feminist men. They don't advocate for men, they advocate for women. On every aspect, no matter if they're right, wrong, or indifferent, they advocate for women and they absolve women from accountability. And that's the problem that I have. And that's one of the reasons why I agree 1,000% with Cooley on that. So I'm saying all that to say this. Don't dive into the hype just because you see somebody talking about it or you see somebody clip up some things. Don't believe everything until you get the full context of what a person says. Because I didn't believe it right out the gate. As soon as I heard what Cooley said and then I heard what the other individual said in tonight's conversation, I also dug a little deeper to find out what was said. And then, of course, David Cooley, he did his live, and so therefore I was like, you know what? Let's hear what Cooley had to say. And guess what? He showed us the actual clip of what happened. He showed us the actual clip of, okay, well, this is what I exactly said. I set the precedent by saying, you know what? This is not me. This is me speaking in general because I'm in a relationship, so I can't talk about myself. And then everybody, when they didn't clip that in the TikTok video, that's when everybody ran with it. And then they try to bring up his wife, his children, say, oh, well, how you a top tier man and you dating a woman with a child and all these different things. He was like, look, my situation is different. Meaning he's an exception to the rule. So if he's speaking in generalities, that means that, guess what? It doesn't happen like this all the time. I'm an exception to the rule. I'm a small percentage of men that this actually happens to. So what I'm telling you is that if you're a single man, don't go looking for a single mother, a mother with a child. That's what he was saying. So with all that being said, I need y'all to understand. Stop taking a lot of things for face value. Pay attention to what's being said first. Take a step back, get the full context of the video, and then make an assessment. Don't just jump at it just because you saw somebody else make a clip of it and it triggered you emotionally, and all of a sudden you want to go dive at that person. You want to dive at that person personally. So, with that being said, man, also, I am at 482 subscribers, man. We're almost at 500. Like I said, we're going to do 5. I'm going to do a video every Monday until we reach 500. That's the first milestone to becoming monetized on YouTube. So definitely show your support. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. And look, tell me your thoughts too, man. What do you think? Did you see the David Cooley's live? Did you see the clippings? Did you go look at the full content? Look, let's have a conversation about it. Let me know.